Hello my lovelies. There is so much to get through this week. I wore so many things that it was absolute nuts. I've been in and out of the swimming pool and a hot tub and all kinds of things, so there's been multiple showers, multiple opportunities to put different perfumes on. So okay, I'll start with, so before we went away for our wedding in the countryside, this is what I started Saturday with. So I've made a video about this, so I won't go on about it too long, because I think I've put that to come up next week. Autumn is upon us, and I decided to test this guy out in the morning on Saturday because it was really chilly, and I've had it in a cupboard waiting to kind of test on my skin because I wasn't very impressed with it on card. And oh my god, though, on skin, this perfume is incredible. So I'll read you the notes real quick and I'll tell you how I feel. So, top notes: spices, marigold, saffron and citruses. Middle notes: Australian sandalwood, Indian jasmine, rose petals. Base notes: vanilla and benzoin. And this, to me, is a gently spiced, this is the dry down. Fair enough, you need to let this dry down. You definitely have to try it on your skin. This does not develop into the beautiful perfume it is if you just smell it on card. It's a bit harsh on card, it's a bit old-fashioned, it's very spicy and woody, but on the skin it dries down to be very sweet, spicy sandalwood and marigold with a lot of vanilla. It's a lovely vanilla, and it is very noticeably, to me, a marigold perfume. And anyone who watches my channel knows how I feel about my embrace marigold and gardenia. You will see that in a minute because I wore it this week. And so when it dried down and I really got that marigold with the very creamy sandalwood and incredibly sweet, lovely kind of slightly gently spiced saffrony smell. Oh, I'm in love. Fully in love. It's very sweet. So this is not one that I would wear. I mean, it's still even a bit warm to now like to wear it all day, but as soon as it gets cold, this is a winter winner. And honestly, like, it's just, I'm amazed by how lush this is. I couldn't stop smelling myself. I just could not stop sniffing myself when I was wearing this. And sorry, I've got hiccups. But I will mention, because I think it's worth mentioning, obviously this is Adam Levine. I might not have said that. This is Adam Levine for women. And, you know, he's a singer that I'm not interested in. A lot of people aren't interested in. But the perfumer who made this, firstly, he made Endless by Sarah Jessica Parker, which is also something that a perfume that I love. And he is responsible for Santal Blush, Vanilla Fatale, and Vanilla Orchid for Tom Ford. So he's an exceptionally good, and from what I can see on Fragrantica, a very prolific perfumer. And this is a beautiful perfume. I think this cost me, I'm not even kidding, £3.99 for 100ml. You can definitely in the UK get these for a £5 or under. And yeah, I mean, I quite like the bottle with the weird microphone lid. I think it's cool. But 100ml, it gets darker as you keep it because of all the vanilla and the sandalwood. It's gorgeous. I mean, if you like sandalwood, this is absolutely something you should have in your collection. It's absolutely incredible. So I just can't believe I got this for like a £5, under a £5. It's mad. So anyway, so that was Saturday morning, and then on after my shower for the rest of the day, I wore this guy because, again, cool enough to give it a go. So this is Midnight Fantasy by Britney Spears, and I was like, okay, let's give this a go. Let's see what's going on. I had to go shopping. And I really enjoyed wearing this. All I will say is that it was a little bit, when I was in the car, when I was in a confined space, it became ever so slightly like noticeable to me in like a kind of cloying way, in a this is so sweet way. I didn't feel like that the rest of the day when I was wearing it out and about or in the house or whatever, but when I was in the car I was like, oh, this is quite intense. So I think, again, like, it's technically fine for like autumn for me, but I think I'm probably going to wait for winter, when my skin isn't going to be warming up quite so much all the time, because I think I'd be a bit worried about wearing it in like small spaces because it's so sweet. But it's really, really nice as well. I really enjoyed it. The shampooiness, definitely not so noticeable. than when I tried it when it was warm, you know, like properly warm. So the notes in this one: top notes plum, sour cherry and raspberry, middle notes orchid, iris and freesia, base notes vanilla, amber and musk. And I'm sure all of those notes are going on in here, but this just smells like a very sweet blueberry muffin, with a kind of, then starts to get a little bit soapy, shampooey. But I mean, I guess you could say, like, when it dries down, it smells like a blueberry muffin scented shampoo. But when you first spray it, it just straight up smells like a blueberry muffin. And I like it. I think it's really nice. I'm definitely keeping it. I really enjoyed wearing it for most of the day. And I did actually reapply it a bit later on. So yeah, but yeah, again, maybe this might be an evening one for me, actually. Maybe a cold weather evening. That'll be perfect. So anyways, that's Britney Spears, Midnight Fantasy. And then I think this was a kind of little goodbye for a little bit, because I'm getting into heavier perfumes, or like more wintry and autumny ones. So I wore Still on Sunday. I always put that the wrong way around when I first put it on. Still by Jennifer Lopez, which is just an absolute classic banger of a perfume, a magical lush jasmine tea smelling heaven perfume. So the notes in this: Earl Grey tea, white pepper, mandarin orange, apple and rice are at the top. Middle notes: jasmine, lily of the valley and freesia, honeysuckle, orange blossom and rose. Base notes: pepper, musk, sandalwood, iris and amber. And it's just beautiful. It's got a lot of notes, but it smells very chic, very classy, clean, spa-like. And we had my husband's brother who was driving us down to the countryside. So he came over on Sunday night, and I was like, I'm just going to wear something pretty chill, because we're just hanging around, nothing too strong or overpowering or anything, while he was staying in our flat. And I wore it, and I still love it, but I was very aware that this one feels quite kind of light and fresh, and the weather is getting chilly, so I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I think this is one that I might not visit quite as much while it's cold weather, but it's still beautiful. I mean, you could wear it any time really, but yeah, it's just such a classic, that one. Now then. Oh yeah, speaking of classics, so then on Monday we were off down to the countryside, and I knew I was going to be in a car with my husband and his brother, so I did not want to be too overpowering. I didn't want anything like cloying, so I wore this one because I think this is a classic date. It's very similar to, it doesn't smell anything like Still, but the kind of vibe of it, in terms of being quite light, quite tasty, kind of maybe not spa-like, but very easy to wear, like a really good daytime, everyday kind of smell. So this is Guess Dare. Oh, I love this perfume. It's musky, but in a very light, fruity way, in the same way that Still is very musky in a kind of light, fruity tea way, you know? Very light and fresh and lush. So notes here: top notes kumquat, pear blossom and lemon blossom. Middle notes cactus, flower, jasmine and wild rose. Base notes musk, woody notes and coconut. And super easy to wear. You don't really, I've said before, like, it's kind of like just a really interesting light fruity musk. You don't get a huge amount of wood, you don't really get a huge amount of coconut. It's floral, it's fruity. It's very white floral, but in a very light and sweet way. And it's so easy to wear. It's so tasty. It's absolutely lush. So I put that on in the morning, and then we were off in the car, and then we were off down to the to get the keys for the place we were staying, which was a gorgeous barn conversion, like really lush. And so yeah, and then we were officially on our on our wedding week. So our family were kind of descending slowly but surely on the Monday. So I was wearing this one, and then it was like, get there, get the keys, get everyone settled, get things sorted, wait for people to arrive, get in the shower, then get straight into the pool. So after the pool and after the hot tub and before like dinner, I went and got changed, and for the evening, oh heavenly, speaking of Marigold, there she is, my Vera Wang embrace, Marigold and Gardenia. Very colour coordinated, these guys. Absolutely scrumptious, one of my all-time favourites. I have 2 backups of this because I absolutely love it, and you can only get it in 30 mils, which is a little bit annoying, but hopefully it will mean they'll keep quite fresh, because the air won't touch them for, they won't be hanging around for ages. So Embrace Marigold and Gardenia by Vera Wang is melon and mango in the top notes. Middle notes Gardenia, Marigold, Orange Blossom. Base notes cardamom, musk, sandalwood and cedar. I don't get much cedarwood. I get a little bit of musk, cardamom, sandalwood. Mainly this is to me melon and marigold and a bit creamy. It is definitely a bit sweet and creamy. It's just absolutely lush. So that worked a treat. And actually I have to say, these, like, now that I've got the... Well, now that I've got it, I've had it since before I started this channel. But now that I've actually been able to try Adam Levine and I know I love it, I could easily wear this in the day and then wear that as a very strong and sweet kind of evening autumnal perfume. So I think they'd go really nicely together because they've got such dominant marigold notes and they're both kind of sweet. It's just this one's more intense, you know, even though I have to say it's not horribly intense, that perfume. Like, it's not like a hideously strong one. It's not going to upset everyone around you. Once it's dried down, it's quite close to the skin. It's beautiful. So, Tuesday morning, so my friends, a couple of friends, not many, started coming on Tuesday. But I took this one with me because I was like, oh, it's perfect to just chuck in my bag, a nice big plastic bottle. It probably doesn't even fit in here. But I took the Sarah Jessica Parker Born Lovely. So this is just the body spray because I was like, that'll be really good for like before the pool, you know, or like just in the morning when I want to smell. And it is so incredible. I have to say, this massive body spray that I was given free when I bought the perfume, this is... It's something insane like 236 ml body mist. Actually quite noticeable, sticks to clothes and skin for a decent while. I don't think there's a massive amount of difference between this and the actual perfume in terms of like longevity and how much people can smell it. And obviously it's a body mist, so you can go absolutely ham with it, and I did. I just basically just sprayed it everywhere all over me, and then went and had breakfast, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it was... It meant I could smell really fresh and clean in the morning, which is exactly what I wanted when I was having breakfast with people, having a nice coffee out in the outdoors, in the chilly outdoor morning. So, notes of this guy: top notes peony, cassis, mandarin orange. Middle notes orange blossom, freesia and honeysuckle. Base notes cedar, patchouli and caramel. And this is, to me, a lovely, pretty, floral, blackcurrant, fresh, slightly sweet smell. I mean, there's definitely a bit of mandarin, but it's mainly like a blackcurranty kind of floral smell, but in a very gentle, clean laundry kind of way. It's just lush. I don't really get patchouli, I don't get cedar, and the caramel I think just sweetens it, but because it's definitely sweet, but it's not a caramel sweetness, so it's like, it's very... Oh, it's just beautiful. I love Born Lovely. And it's so easy to wear. And I was like, I mean, there's literally never a time when you're not going to be able to wear this. Like, it's so universally easy to wear. So that was the morning. And then again, like, after we'd done all the swimming and all the stuff, and we had a nice evening meal. Oh, I did a barbecue. Did I do? No. Monday night was a barbecue. Yeah. So Monday was the barbecue. My Vera Wang Embrace Marigold and Gardenia was barbecue. Tuesday night, my mum and dad did a cheese and wine night for us, so I wanted to smell yummy. I had on a really beautiful dress from Selkie, which I'm obsessed with. Which one did I have? If anyone knows Selkie, it was the Vincent van Gogh, their day dress. So I was like, I need something super pretty to go with that. Also slightly colour coordinated again, love it. Vera Wang Embrace French Lavender and Tuberose, which at this time of year, I love this as much as I love this one. This one, because you can pretty much wear it in hot weather as well. Like, unless it's like 40 degrees, it's not going to be too strong or like sweet. This one, in that kind of weather, I can't wear it because it's very sweet. The French Lavender and Tuberose is very sweet, but holy hell, I love this one so much. I had one backup of this, and I recently ordered another because I was like, I'm going to start hammering through this one because I crave it constantly. I've worn it twice this week, actually. So the notes in this one are top notes of mandarin orange, middle notes of lavender and tuberose, base notes of vanilla and cacao. It is heaven on earth. It's a creamy, sweet lavender with just a hint of cacao in there. And it sort of depends on the weather. The warmer the weather, the more I smell the tuberose. But generally speaking, I think of this as being like a sweet lavender smell. It's absolutely lush. And it does remind me of a much more wearable and more sort of easy to wear, more gourmand and perfumey version of Twilight by Lush. And I took, actually, I forgot. I took my big, I was just running out of one of them and I've got a new one. So the old one of my Twilight, my big body spray from Lush, I took that with me because I always spray it on my bedclothes. So I took that with me. I took some silk pillowcases as well. I'm such a princess. But this one, I absolutely adore it. I wore it. Someone did tell me I smelled nice. And I did smell nice because it's absolutely Lush. I love this perfume. It's so scrumptious, perfect for bedtime, also perfect for any time because it's not horribly strong, but you will want to just smell it at least on yourself all the time. And it's just edibly delicious. I'm obsessed and I love it. So I wore that one Tuesday night. Then Wednesday was the big day, but, oh, yes, before I forget, just have a quick sniff. Oh, so good. Actually, I don't know why I'm sniffing it from the bottle. I'm wearing it now. Skin Musk. I took the little roller bottle. This is all the stuff I actually took with me. So some of these they're all the actual bottles I took with me. Whereas obviously I have the original bottle of this. But I took my little roller ball. These I just get from Amazon. You can get a little set there. They've got metal balls as well. They're really, really good. These are the best ones that I've had. I wore that into bed on Tuesday night, and then I woke up in the morning and I could still smell it, as you normally can with this stuff. It's amazing. So I just put some more of that on to go and have coffee and breakfast with everyone. Very, very yummy. Absolutely love Skin Musk. This is by Parfums de Coeur, and it's normally in a very ugly little bottle with like a green label. It looks so cheap and 80s, and it is cheap. It's like a tenner, but it's fabulous. It's my absolutely all-time favourite musk. It is my forever musk. You know, if I had to get rid of every other musk perfume I had, this would be the one that I'd keep. So this just lists musk, sandalwood and floral notes, and I'm not really sure if that gives a good idea of it. I think it's a beautiful, it smells like clean bar soapy style musk. It's absolutely lush. It's sweet. I swear there's vanilla in this. It's just absolutely delicious. So yeah, so I had that on in the morning, and then I had my big shower, washed my hair, did it all up because it was wedding day. So Wednesday was the big proper day, the big dress and my husband turned up dressed like an actual Disney prince. It was amazing. So my chosen perfume for my actual wedding day was Forever and Ever Dior by Christian Dior. So this is my little miniature of it. I do have a large bottle, but I was like, there's no point in taking my large bottle when I've got one of these gorgeous little crystal minis, you know. They used to make these. I don't really see these anymore, unless you're going to get a vintage. As you can see, I've used a lot of mine. Oh God, it's just such an ethereal, perfect perfume for a wedding day because it's not aggressively strong. But it is very noticeable and it does last all day. Like you spray, it's very, very subtle, but you need to spray quite a lot. But once you've sprayed it, it will last you all day. Like, it's absolutely genius. So they only list 3 notes. I think it's jasmine, rose and a freesia that they list on Fragrantica for this and on the Dior website. However, I'm not really sure. I mean, I think of this as my freesia perfume, honestly, but I'm not really sure it quite explains what it smells like, because the original version has way more notes listed, and I don't think they massively changed it. I think it's maybe a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more kind of spring-like than the original, but I'm just going to read you the original notes because I think they probably still got quite a lot of these going on. So the original notes from the version before this, Création de Monsieur Dior, were top notes of ivy, freesia and jasmine, heart notes of geranium, almond blossom and rose, base notes of musk, nutmeg and vanilla. And it does have a slight sweetness, but it's not vanilla-y. It's not like massively spicy, but I think there's definitely musk in this because it really, yeah, there's definitely a bit of musk in this. It lasts really well. It's so beautiful. I wore that on my wedding day. My husband gave me a sniff, told me how beautiful I smell. Because I haven't really worn this a huge amount. like certainly in the lead up to the wedding, just because I wanted it to be like a special one. And to be honest, it's so expensive that it is a special one. But every now and again, oh God, it's beautiful. So I love and adore that perfume. Forever and Ever Dior is just stunning. And then, so after all the stuff before the disco, I call it a disco, it wasn't a disco, just before sort of we started drinking and celebrating, I forget how much I love Stella Pop. Oh my God, I love Stella Pop. So, I'm just going to move this little baby over here. So cute. So this is my little one that I take around with me. I've also got a massive one of this, and I've got a rollerball for my handbag. I just forget how much I love it. I forget how much I love this. So many people smelt me and were like, oh my God, you smell really nice. What do you smell like? And I said to some of them, I was like, do I smell like a Barbie doll? And they were like, oh my God, yeah, you smell, you do, you smell like a Barbie. Oh God, I'm smelling it now and thinking, I might have to wear that again today. So delicious. So this is the original Stella Pop, and this has technically, I think, been discontinued, but you can still get it everywhere, and you can still get it for like 10, 15 quid, like so cheap, and it's so delicious. It's, I think I made a video about this before, and I was like, this is sort of beast mode for me, but it's not strong, that's the thing, like it's not horrifically strong, this one. It is sweet and it is noticeable and people will smell it on you, but it's not like, I mean, it's compared to something like the Britney Spears one, it's quite subtle, but it's very wearable. It's such a wearable perfume. It's why I love it so much. But it was perfect for the evening, and it was really fine to go over the top of this. You know, it didn't they didn't clash with each other at all. So the notes in this are top notes of tomato leaf, green mandarin, and violet leaf. Middle notes tuberose, frangipani, and violet. Base notes musk, sandalwood, and cedar. And I get a bit of greenness from that tomato leaf. I get quite a lot of violet and frangipani in this, and the tuberose gives it a real bubblegummy smell. Oh God, let me just spray it. So good. It's got such a, nearly swore, it's got the worst sprayer. These bottles, they look so cool, but the sprayers are absolute crap. They really are. Oh, but my God, the smell. Yeah, I might just wear this again today because I just actually love it so much. And I again, because I've been saving this one, and I decided a while ago I was going to wear this one, I've been saving this one and not really wearing it because I knew I was going to wear it in the evening. And oh my God, my room now. It's so lush. It is fresh, but it's so sweet. It's got a real kind of sweeties, like actual sweeties kind of smell about it, despite being quite floral. Oh, it's absolute heaven. I love it. Yeah, I'm going to wear that again. I'm going to wear that today. So, then the next day, Thursday, recovery day. So again, I was like full swimming hot tub day. And so in the morning when I woke up, bit of H&M Pear, because it's so easy to just spray a ton of it on, smell fresh and clean in the morning. And again, actually, because this is very good in summer, but it's just generally very good for like waking you up and feeling fresh and clean in the morning. Yeah, really nice H&M Pear. It doesn't last very long, so kind of perfect for just wearing for little short bursts of time. So that one doesn't have any notes, and it does basically just smell like a mixture between very fresh, crisp, juicy pears and pear Haribo sweets. So yeah, that's pretty classic as well. Oh my goodness, I wore so many perfumes, I'm trying to get them through them all, it's crazy. So then that was in the morning, and then just generally after because I think I got up and went straight into the pool. And then I had to shower off, obviously, the chlorine. And so then I wore, throughout the day, I wore Ted Baker. This is my little miniature version. Again, I have it in a big bottle. This is Ted Baker XO Extraordinary Woman. This is a beautiful, light, pretty, but very sexy and sweet tuberose perfume. There's not really, I don't recognise much else in this perfume. It's, to me, a tuberose perfume. So top notes here are African orange flower, middle notes are tuberose, gardenia, jasmine, base notes are heliotrope and musk. And it's, let me just see if I can take this lid off, it's so delicious. Beautiful, beautiful, light, airy, but sweet tuberose. And if you like the tuberose note from Poison by Christian Dior, you'll probably really like this perfume. If you like light floral versions, then I think you'll like that one. So I wore that during the day, and then again in the evening. It had got quite chilly. We were all actually in jumpers and like wrapped up because the weather was starting to turn. We had quite good luck with the weather actually. And so originally I wanted to take my Velvet Latte and Vanilla Woods perfume by Scentology, but it's in a really big bottle. So I just decided to take the one that smells just a lot like it, and I took Prerogative by Britney Spears, which is a lovely perfume, and I'm definitely keeping it. I'm not getting rid of it because I really, really like it. It's very tasty indeed, so it's staying with me for sure. Absolutely loved it. Again, felt really cozy. I had like a what's it called? Like a jumper dress on with like a high neck, and I made a paella, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's get sweet and tasty. And it's so delicious. I just want to spray it on all the time because it's so tasty, and it doesn't project massively. It's not super strong. Like, it's a very wearable scent for people like me who don't like to be like making everyone smell their perfume constantly. I don't want to be the person in the room who smells incredibly strong. Randomly, I've literally just remembered because my friend was wearing a Van Cleef & Arpels Santal, is it Santal 33? And she put it on, and I hadn't seen the bottle, and I was in the little cottage she was staying in, and I was like, did you just put on Katy Perry Indie? She was like, no. And I said, what did you do? She showed me the bottle, and I was like, oh my God, that smells exactly like Katy Perry's Indie. And she was like, oh, bloody hell, don't tell me that, because like this bottle cost me a small fortune. I was like, yeah, I bet it did. And so I was like, oh, right. So I didn't realise that Katy Perry was, that's a dupe. That's 100% Katy Perry Indie is a dupe for the Van Cleef & Arpels ones I smelled. I thought it was a dupe for Santal Blush, but I guess those two perfumes smell really similar. But anyway, that's a random aside. I was just amazed because I was like, it was like my best mate smells like one of the perfumes I got this year, that smells like I absolutely love. That's one of the ones that's like my favourite, but she's got like a super expensive version of it. But anyway, I'm going on, and I haven't given you the notes for this one. So, Prerogative, this is the original one by Britney Spears. Top notes: apricot, goji berries, pink pepper. Middle notes: coffee, saffron, red lily. Base notes: sandalwood and amberwood. And absolutely delicious. Really love it. Would highly recommend this to anyone who wants something sweet, but doesn't want to like kill people with the sweetness, or make people feel a bit sick. So let me just try and get that over here, so you can see what I'm about to put up. What an absolute banger this one is. And I saved it for the last day. This is Jean-Charles Brosseau. Fleur d'Ombre Rose. Very important. Not Ombre Rose. Ombre Rose by Jean-Charles Brosseau is a very different perfume. Very kind of powdery, potpourri, traditional kind of strong rose smelling. Old school rose. This is fruity, fresh, girly, very modern smelling rose. This is Fleurs d'Ombre Rose, and it's much pinker. So as I've said before, when I got this, and I've talked about it a number of times, this used to be a signature of mine maybe in like 2010, something like that, and I didn't continue to buy it because it's quite expensive. This cost me like 50 quid for a 50ml. This Eau de Toilette, and it just never used to last. Like, I used to ended up wearing it to bed because it just didn't last. But I'm here to tell you, this new one I've got lasted ages. It's definitely skin scenty, 100%. Very little projection after like an hour or so, but you can smell it on yourself for about 6-7 hours, I reckon. Absolute heaven. This, along with my white tea rose, is just my absolute favourite ever rose. It's like a kind of raspberry sweetie rose. It's just delicious. So the notes in this are rhubarb, tangerine, apple and melon, blackcurrant, orange, grapefruit and bergamot. Middle notes: rose, peach, mango, freesia and jasmine. Base notes: orris root, musk, vetiver, sandalwood, amber. So there's a lot of notes. I would say blackcurrant and rhubarb is giving it like a raspberry kind of vibe. There's definitely rose and there's definitely freesia. And I think the mango is a bit noticeable. It's just, It's lovely, sweet, light, fresh, fruity rose. It's heaven. And it smells like an incredibly natural rose, but then it smells like an incredibly natural rose with some like berry flavoured sweets. Like, oh my God, I absolutely love it. I'm so happy because the old version of this I had, so if you're looking at bottles, this little shape here, it used to just be that, a little version of that in the middle without all this around the outside. That's what it looked like. I don't think there was different concentrations of it. I think they've just changed it. And this one is so much better and it's absolutely delicious. And I am so happy to have it back in my collection because it's absolutely scrummy. So yeah, I mean, what a fun, it's been so fun. What a lush week. I've smelt delicious. I've eaten loads of delicious food. I've hung out with people that I absolutely adore. I have had the best week ever, probably of my life, to be honest. I'm very happy bunny, and I mean, yeah, I've got so much more stuff to show you, to be honest, but this was like some of my absolute favourite ever all-time perfumes here. You know, two modern favourites. I've got these, which are my all-time old school favourites, you know, and then just a couple that are just so easy to wear. I think Born Lovely, to be fair, is one of my new favourites. So yeah, it's just, what a fabulous week. I've just loved every moment of it. So yeah, there's loads of videos still coming up. I can't wait. And also I'm really excited because I managed on eBay to get the Ego version of this that I've been after for an absolute steal. So that's on its way as well. I just wore a new one yesterday that I can't wait to tell you about because it was here when I got home from my holiday. It had been delivered. So I'm just very excited about the whole thing. Like, oh, I'm just, what a week.